Hello friends, my name is Nidhi and today I am going to discuss a very important, very basic and very first topic of data analytics that is a scale of measurements. So let's start now.
Please, let's start. Let's move on to measurement scale of measurements quickly. So first of all, we have a look what is data and how to reach from data to information. Okay, so when I'm talking about data could be anything. It's just collection, number, character, string, etc. And it could be a huge or small, any collection of numbers or characters. A string can be data. But now when I want to generate information out of data, so I have to apply some kind of analysis to this data, and by using these analysis is applied to the data by using analytical tools or statistical tools, you can say, and by using some kind of information system. Information system could be a software or where you are putting your data file to generate that information. It could be Tableau, it could be SPSS, it could be R, Python, even Excel. Anything you can use to manipulate this raw data and explore and then apply some analytical techniques to reach to the desired result. So this is the process of conversion of data to information. And when I'm saying and rows, so each row represent a record and each column represent a variable. So here say ID, gender, age, rank, going to predict, or then could be something like salary. Okay, rank in performance, suppose. So these, what is these column heads? Each column head is a variable in my data. Each column head is a variable, and then probably some kind of records are there. And maybe this is rank on the basis of performance or grades person has gotten as appraisal. Could be this kind of data, right? So this, so each of this row is called a record in this data file, and all these column heads are called the variables. So based on this, so this is how my data will look. Suppose this is imaginary data I've created. It's nothing to do with the real thing, but just to give you a look how my data file might be looking when I open a data file, and then how I identify records and my data. So this is a tabular form of data. So now comes to, and we will discuss this opening of file, exporting data into Excel, SPSS, and opening these data files using R or Python. That we will discuss in a separate presentation. I will make a separate presentation for this. So now come to statistical analysis. So statistical analysis is mainly of three types: descriptive analysis, predictive analysis, and prescriptive analysis. So what comes in descriptive analysis? Descriptive analysis is just to a very first step of when we are doing any kind of analysis. This is very first step. Very first step here, we are exploring the data. Exploring the data and getting understanding. Maybe you can say when we are doing descriptive analysis, like we are trying to understand all variables and getting an idea of what data is actually tending to say. So it includes central calculation of central tendency, variance, and some kind of graphs, pie charts, or bar graphs, histograms to understand the data. And then next step, second comes to predictive analysis. After understanding the data, getting an idea of data variables, we apply predictive analysis. Predictive analysis predicts, like we have something, some data, and then we predict for the future, right? So when predict for the future, it's like regression analysis, regression, decision tree, season tree, all these algorithms come under this, and many others are also there. Then there are prescriptive analysis. Prescriptive analysis, when we have explored the data, we have predicted something, and then come how to suggest future action or prescribe future action to like higher management, decision makers. So this is the part of decision making. So it's involved, like suppose what kind of impact a particular ad is giving for some product, what is the buying criteria, what are the associated products, so how to price them, how to place them. So this kind of decisions are taken here. This is the most advanced or AI enabled and type of analysis. So we will discuss all this step by step. So first we are going to discuss measurement scales. So measurement scales are the very basic first step toward the world of data. So let's move on to that quickly. So just to show you the small set of data, putting this to information system, then generating some kind of information. Like this piece of data itself doesn't make a sense, but when we are doing some exploratory analysis, we find that this is some bill item, some kind of revenue of some store. Okay, so let's move on quickly to scale of measurement. There are majorly or generally four type of scales of measurement in data: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio scale. So we will discuss in detail about them. For that, we'll discuss data type and statistics. So when I'm talking about data type and statistics, so first of all, we can say there are majorly two types of data. If you see, I've taken example also earlier. So one is qualitative data, and then quantitative. Data. Okay, qualitative data and quantitative data. So qualitative data is telling us basically about quality, as it's clear from name. So like we have discussed about like say where only classes are there or categories are there. So qualitative data give us some kind of categories or categorical data also. We can say also categorical data. So one is now it can further classified as nominal data and ordinal. Okay, so nominal is having only categories without any association, and ordinal is having categories with some kind of association. So we can say this qualitative as categorical also. Categorical data. Okay, so now coming to quantitative data. Quantitative data can be in interval form, interval or ratio. So major thing is what is the difference between interval and ratio. So interval data is like only we can calculate only difference between two interval data points, but in ratio data we can compare them, we can take ratio of them, right? So for interval data you can take example of temperature. Example is temperature. If we can compare the difference between or interval between temperature of two bodies. We will not compare them like as a ratio, right? Like difference of temperature between two cities or two vessels, but we will not say it like represent this kind of data in terms of ratios. But in ratios could be age, salary. From previous example I'm saying. Okay, in ordinal data there is some kind of order. There are categories and there is some kind of order like first, second, third. So this is categories with some order. Categories with some order. Okay. In nominal data they have only categories but no ordering, no inequality. They all are equal categories. Okay, so this is how distribution of data in statistics generally is happening. So this is a variable data type in statistics or variables. And what are my variables in terms of statistical analysis? All those column heads. Okay, so now scale of measurement, come to this slide. So we have discussed nominal scales. So use simply as label for groups or classes, name of categories and relationship, no relationship between categories. Ordinal scales, data elements may be ordered according to their relative size and quality. Interval scale, it's a numerical measurement but the values of 0 assigned arbitrarily, so therefore we cannot take ratio of two measurements. That's very important. We sometimes there is a discussion that what is the difference between ratio and interval data. So this is the explanation for that. Ratios will have a natural zeros or can be represented in a ratio. Okay. Okay, I think this point is clear now. Examples we have taken for nominal gender. There are two classes, male, female, but there's no inequality. Both are equal. No kind of ranking. Can be nationality, can be color of skin, anything. Okay, ordinal scale, it can be rank. There are categories first, second, third, but there is some kind of order or grades, right? And some Likert scales are there, likeness or satisfaction. Interval scale, yeah. And then this interval and ratio data could be discrete or could be continuous. Okay, so but nominal and ordinal data is always discrete. So interval scale and ratio scale can be discrete or can be continuous, both. Okay, so this is one thing. I want to mention here. So here I can mention temperature, IQ of people. We cannot compare like that one ratio in a ratio way, but we can compare difference. Okay, and age, salary of a person, this kind of thing we can measure as a scale of measurement. Okay, this is done. So this is a hierarchy of these four measurement scales. Nominal scale has only named variable, ordinal named variable with some odd and some kind of ordering. An interval is a named variable with ordered and proportionate interval between two variables. Ratio scale come on the top. Let's have all the mathematical property also. So name, order, proportionate interval between variables can accommodate absolute zero. So we can compare also. We take ratio of these two quantity. Okay. Yes. Let's see this thing with example. So nominal measurement, gender, male, female. So it's a nominal variable. So ordinal measure, example of religiosity. How important is religion for you? So it's from a scale of low to high, low to high. Not very important, fairly important, very important, and most important. So we can rate it like 1, 2, 3, 4. So there will be 4 values and they all have some kind of order, right, from low to high. So this will come under ordinal measure. So now we'll see this interval measure of IQ. So like this IQ is given for 4%. So this is values 95, 100, 105, and 110, 115. So this is absolutely continuous variable, but we will not take ratios. We will not represent this data in terms of ratio, but it will take only difference, because it's not a good idea to say that somebody is twice as intelligent as the other one. So it's not a proper way of comparison. We can tell difference between their intelligence as a IQ level. Okay, now if we say salaries or income of these persons, so they can, here it's a ratio measure, so we can represent it in any way by taking difference, by taking ratio, or all kind of measurement can be applied to this particular time kind of variable. So I hope this is clear. So I now have few questions for you. Identify the measurement in each of the following case and survey. So I would like you guys to try these things. The age of household, head. So what can be this thing? Age is a, what kind of variable age is? Ratio. Then gender is a nominal, right? Number of people in household, so again a continuous ratio. Use of electric heating, yes or no, only levels are there, so it could be a nominal, right? Average number of hours heating, suppose this is a question about a survey of electric heating. So number of hours is absolutely ratio, continuous variable. Then household income, again ratio. Average bill, again a ratio. Level of satisfaction with the product, suppose it's about a electric heater, so what is your satisfaction level? So that will be from a scale of say 1 to 5. 1 to 5, not at all satisfied, highly satisfied. So these values are ordinal. Okay, so similarly, for some more question I will give you, you can try by yourself. You can download that sheet, that link I will give you at the description box. So there are some summary what kind of measurement we can use for these particular variables for nominal only categories with no inequalities there, or no ordering, no addition, subtraction, no multiplication, division. In ordinal variable, arithmetic operation can be used as inequalities and ordering. Interval, equal intervals between characteristics, so we can use inequality, ranking, addition, subtraction. For ratio, we can use inequality, we can use ordering, ranking, we can use subtraction, addition, we can use multiplication, division. All the mathematical operation can be used with this ratio. Okay, for descriptive statistics, again, only mode is a central tendency which we calculate for nominal category. Suppose see this is about nationality or gender, this kind of data. So what you will do, how can you report some other measure than mode, mean, median, mode, and standard deviation? That we will discuss in next presentation in detail. So this is the chart, what kind of values we can use in descriptive statistics, what kind of analysis techniques like crosstab, chi-square, rank, order correlation, analysis of variance, correlation, regression, analysis of variance, factor analysis, what can be used, this particular kind of variables. So this is the summary chart which we will keep discussing with further presentations. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and do share with your friends.